Grand Slam Australia has come on and gone. It was a great event. I really loved seeing AEW back here in Australia. Something I definitely want to get to next year. We've got a lot to talk about here this week. We've got Moxley versus Takeshita. We've got a women's world tag team fight. Babes of Wrath and Mega Bad. We're going to be talking Hangman Adam Page and Andrade. There was a hair match as well. Let me know what you think about that. And then the TNT ladder match. Now, Kyle Fletcher, he's a champ. He's our feature this week in our thumbnail for this episode. And then the main event there being MJF versus Brody King. Excited to hear what you think. We'd love if you could like and subscribe. Also on this channel this week, we had Match Review Monday, where we had another international event, which was Bandito versus Mascara Dorada, and that was at Global Wars last year. Next week, we're going to have an event from back in 2018. We're going to look at All In 2018 with Kenny Omega versus Penta. So excited to talk to you guys about that. But now, let's get into the Grand Slam review. Okay, so for Grand Slam Australia 2026, so this opened with the AEW Continental title match between Jon Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita. So with that one there, they did say on commentary how Takeshita had beaten Mox in the Continental Classic. So we did have a really good opening back and forth that had some early finisher attempts, which is really interesting to see. So this match I felt like built over time. So you did see from Mox offense-wise, chops back and forth, flying through the ropes. Takeshita's going to bring that high boot into the match, coming back with his own strikes. Mox has his pile driver, his drop kicks. And one thing I do enjoy from Takeshita is the boot into the Blue Thunder Bomb there. He did use some real heelish moves there with his nails in the back. Mox did attack Takeshita's fingers as well by snapping them in this match. He also had a really nice cutter after a combo there and a really good stomp on the apron. Takeshita did get back from the outside with the count of 9, but then got hit by Mox's stomp. So that stomp became pretty prevalent in this match. We did see multiple exploders by Takeshita in this match into the knee, and headbutts with wrist control as well. Mox had his bulldog choke. He did hit Takeshita with the Death Rider, but there was a kick out. And we did see a lariat too that was kicked out. So this one here, towards the end, the 20-minute time limit draw, we did see Takeshita with a really nice elbow strike, knee, and then the bell rang as well. So fun match. I did wonder partially if we were going to go to a time limit draw with this one to have a rematch at Revolution. So keen to see what they do there with that one on the road to Revolution. But I really enjoyed this as an opener. So the next match on Grand Slam Australia was the AEW Women's World Tag Team title match. So that was between the Babes of Wrath, the champs, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale, and they faced Mega Bad in Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. So offense-wise, we saw Megan Bayne bringing some chops straight away. Harley Cameron was straight into this match. Her energy was targeted straight at Megan Bayne, which really enjoyed that, taking it to the challenges. We did see some really good stuff from Penelope Ford with a leg choke on the rope. Willow, she had this German suplexes, cannonball off the apron, and there was a double drop kick as well in this match. But I feel like Mega Bad, they did have some really good combinations. There was a good combo into a pin attempt as well. Harley Cameron's always going to bring that sling blade. We also did see a DDT by Harley Cameron into a crossbody. And Harley Cameron did bring some chops and a very nice single leg grab. Now, we did see an attempted Doomsday device by Mega Bad, but Penelope Ford did end up doing a very nice moonsault, the top turnbuckle, when that was interrupted. Willow was bringing the chops, Harley Cameron bringing her destroyer. We did see a Russian leg sweep and pump kick combo by the Babes of Wrath and a backpack senton as well. On the Mega Bad side, we did see Megan Bayne with a good shotgun kick there, stunner by Penelope Ford, and a lariat by Megan Bayne. The Babes of Wrath did get the win here and retain the title with a backslide pin. Now, for Australians like myself, being an Australian event, very excited about that. We did see Lena Cross's debut at the end there. Being an Australian, that's very exciting. I'm very keen to see what Lena Cross can do in AEW, especially being in a group perhaps here with Megabad. The next match on the Grand Slam card was the AEW World Title #1 contendership match, and that was between Andrade and Hangman Adam Page. So this match was very coded for me. It had lots of chops from Andrade, which was the back and forth. We did see some chops into that girl on the crowd spot, which was good fun because Hangman got involved as well. We did see a drop kick into the buckshot lariat attempt by Hangman. We did see some chops on Andrade. He had some more chops on the turnbuckle. Andrade, he brought his Spanish fly, which is always enjoyable, plus the three amigos, which the crowd really enjoyed. Rolling lariat by Hangman. He also had a Liger bomb as well, and a lariat on the apron. We did see the double moonsault attempt there by Andrade, but the knees were up. Tornillo as well, which is very nice, but that was caught, and then Andrade was thrown into the barricade. Now, this part I really enjoyed was the spinning elbow to counter the buckshot lariat. Now, that is excellent use of that move. It is one of my favourite Andrade moves, and if he can keep using that to counter people's finishes, I think it's going to be very deadly in AEW. Hangman did attempt a Deadeye as well, and we did see from Andrade's side the knees into the DDT. Don Callis, being Don Callis, got involved. That allowed a distraction for Hangman to capitalise on, and he did use the knee into the buckshot lariat there for the win. So now Hangman moves on to Revolution, where he will face MJF. I would have loved to have seen Andrade win here and get that platform, Revolution, to be in a world title match, but it seriously needs to be up in the world title contendership all year long, and I'd like to see him also, if he does not win that, definitely win another title and have a great run there. He needs to be on AEW TV weekly. So the next match on the Grand Slam card was the mixed tornado tag match. The loser getting their head shaved. It was a tornado tag match. So Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm versus Death Riders and Yuta and Marina Shafir. So we did see this straight off the bat with OC and Tony Storm attacking the Death Riders in the crowd, which I quite enjoyed. So Tony Storm straight into it with some German suplexes, but Yuta did counter that with hitting Tony with a pile driver on the outside on some cases to take her out, which then did allow the Death Riders to get some double team action on Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy did use the beach break, the stun dog, and the DDT in this match. Marina brought a really good ankle lock, and at one stage we did see a couple of Busako knees on Tony Storm, and he did accidentally hit Marina Shafir. Tony Storm brought her chicken wing and a really great hip attack. Orange Cassidy, as always, that orange punch. Now, we did see the Storm Zero used here by Tony to get the win on Yuta, and then Yuna had to get his head shaved. So, Mina getting some revenge there for having her hair cut last week. And now we'll see what Yuta looks like with shaved head. There's quite a few members of the Death Riders now who are bald, so it could be a new look for that team. But I had fun with this match. Let me know what you thought. Now, the next match for Grand Slam was the match of the week for me on Grand Slam, and that was the TNT title fight. And it was a ladder match between Mark Briscoe, the challenger, versus the champion, Kyle Fletcher. So I had Mark Briscoe bringing what Mark Briscoe brings. He's thrown himself through the ropes. He's bringing those chops on the outside. Kyle Fletcher hit him with a half and half on the outside. They also tossed Mark Briscoe into the ropes. Now, being a ladder match, Mark Briscoe hit Kyle Fletcher with a ladder. He also threw Kyle Fletcher off the side of a ladder at one stage. But Kyle Fletcher does like to throw people like a dart, so that's what he did with Mark Briscoe into the ladder. We saw those dangerous kicks from Kyle Fletcher on the apron. We did get to see a froggy boy here on the outside onto a ladder. Now, countering that, we did see a powerbomb through a ladder on the corner. More of those dangerous Kyle Fletcher kicks. Now, heading towards the end of the match here, we saw Dre driller through the ladder, which was quite a spot, and the crowd, that really got them going. Kyle Fletcher loves doing a brainbuster, and he took that to a great height here of hitting Mark Briscoe with that off the top of the ladder. So that was a real avalanche brainbuster, sheer drop for sure. Fletcher gets the win here by climbing the ladder and grabbing his title from above. Now, what was exciting was we did get to see on social media he has finally got his version of the TNT title, and that is in pink. So looking forward to seeing that on TV weekly. But this was my match of the week, and I really, really enjoyed it. Great to see Carl Fletcher get this platform here in Australia and get the win, and the crowd loved it as well. Let me know what you thought. And the final main event match of Grand Slam Australia was the AEW World Title match between the champ MJF and the challenger Brody King. Now, remember from last week, Brody King got a very quick eliminator win here to set up this match. Now, Brody King is getting the crowd involved straight away. He's bringing his lariat, which gets the crowd involving. MJF, he likes to stir up the crowd. He was in the crowd walking around. We did see a big chop from Brody King in the corner. MJF using his tactics, he's targeting the knee with kicks and holds in this match. We did see the return of the kangaroo kick, which is very appropriate being here in Australia. We did see Brody King trying to hit his cannonball, but that was missed. Now he did get some chops on MJF, and then he was able to put MJF's head into the turnbuckle a few times there to try and wear him down. Now, because of the way MJF was targeting Brody King's knee, he was struggling a bit, Brody King, with being able to hit his moves, and you can see the knee was starting to go throughout the match. There was a chokehold put on Brody King by MJF, but Bandito appeared to cheer him on, which is really good to see Bandito still together. I still think there's more to play out there with that partnership. I think there will be a Ring of Honor title match down the track. But back to this match, we saw more chops on the outside from Brody. We did see that cannonball finally get hit. MJF sneaking in the diamond ring, biting that knee as well. We did see the driver into the chair by Brody, and we did see a Gonzo bomb towards the end there, but that was kicked out. We did see MJF attacking that knee, biting it, and we did see him get dropped on the apron. Now, to get the win here, MJF did use the Heat Seeker and retain his title. So this was a fun match for a main event. It was really good to see Brody King get a world title fight as a main event and an international event as well. MJF now will face Hangman at Revolution, which I do think will be a good match. I think this is match 3 of those two. That was my thoughts on Grand Slam Australia. I really enjoyed the event. I loved seeing AEW back here in Australia. Like I said earlier, I'd really love to get to AEW event hopefully next year. So let me know what you thought in the comments. You can also comment on other social media posts. We'll be back next week for Match Review Monday, and that's with Kenny Omega versus Penta. So excited to talk to you guys about that one. No Dynamite review this week, but we'll be back next week with the Collision and Dynamite review. Looking to see the fallout there of Kenny versus Swerve and see where Hangman and MJF go and what the stipulation might be for Revolution. So if you can like and subscribe, and if you have any suggestions for Match Review Monday, I'd love to hear them. There's a lot of wrestling matches to review out there, and I'd love to hear some suggestions. So otherwise, have a great week, and we'll catch you next week for Match Review Monday.